Hey everyone, Paige Demacos from Arizona Sports. This is the second part of our 3-part series with Christine Arians. I hope you enjoy. All right, so back to All or Nothing. Everyone got to see you guys, a very vulnerable situation, to be able to let people into your home, let people see your relationship with your husband, with your children, you during the games. What was it like for you when you first watched yourself on TV, when you're sitting there and you're like, oh my gosh, that's me.
The crazy thing is, it's like I had lived that year. And yet, as I'm watching All or Nothing, even though I knew the outcome of every game, I still got like all stressed out watching it. That kind of blew my mind. But the viewpoint of All or Nothing was so different. The close-ups and the players being mic'd on the field and that kind of thing. You don't get that from, the box way up here where I'm sitting. So that was really cool to me. I recognize myself in all of it, but it's like, oh, did they really have to show me making those faces? I'm a really expressive person, and there are times when I wish I weren't, because some of those faces I made, especially during the game, were not pretty.
That is all right. I think you're allowed. That scene where you're talking to your husband has become infamous around here because you're looking at Bruce and you're, call the right play, Brucey, call the right play.
Yeah.
I think everyone felt such a strong tie to you in that moment because you were saying what all of us are thinking, please.
And I end up saying that every game. There's always a tense moment in every game where that one perfect play is going to make such a big difference. And so I've done that for years. That wasn't anything unusual, although that was a really important play in a really important game.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're at the stadium and you're watching him coach, obviously you've gone from watching him at an elementary level now to NFL Coach of the Year.
I didn't actually know him in elementary school.
I was going to say.
At high school.
But yeah, you've known him for a long time.
I have.
In 9th grade, I believe. That's when the two of you met.
Yep.
So you've known him for a long time. Has Bruce always kind of been the same guy that we see now as a head coach throughout this whole...
He was shyer and quieter when he was younger. And I knew him back then too, so I can, it's amazing to me how comfortable he's gotten with the press and, with sharing so much of who he is with people, because he used to be really shy, yeah.
Is it, when you're watching him at the stadium, has that changed for you, or have you always been, nervous? I mean, it comes across as...
yeah, I've always been a crazy person during games. I've always been a crazy person. I grew up watching football with my dad as a kid on a black and white TV. and really, that was one of my favorite things to do with my dad. A lot of times it was just the two of us sitting in there watching, Saturday college football and Sunday pro football, Johnny Unitas, yeah.
Good memories.
Yeah,
good memories.
Really good memories.
So you were into football before Bruce.
Oh, yeah.
And that's completely because of your father?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty, I didn't know that.
My dad played college football back in the day of leather helmets.
Wow.
So he was
Where did he play football?
Oh gosh, now I'm going to forget the name. St. Mary's, I think, University in Pennsylvania.
All right.
Little school.
Little small school, but that was your first taste of football. So it wasn't Bruce that influenced you, you were already a football fan.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting. This last week, Bruce, we get an alert on our phones, and it's that Bruce is going to the hospital. Obviously, I'm sure you found out before we did.
Minutes.
Yeah.
Minutes before.
Yeah.
He had to pick the most public day,
yeah.
to do this.
What was your first, we've seen the health history that he's had issues before. What was your first reaction?
Well, Tom Reed called, and he said, Bruce is having stomach pains, and he made it sound real medical, below his umbilicus and all this. And he said, we're thinking maybe it's kidney stones. And I said, well, I don't know if he's told you this or not, but when he had his last colonoscopy, they told him he had a diverticula in his intestines. My guess would be, because he's saying below his umbilicus, not in his back. Yeah. And I'm thinking, kidneys, that should be your back. But, the doctor here.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Dr. Mom.
Dr. Arians. That's okay.
You know, and I said, I don't know if he told you that or not, but you need to consider that it could be it could be diverticulitis, and that's what it turned out to be. So, whether it's a good thing or not, I don't know, but they were able to diagnose it pretty quickly.
Which is good. But
that is good.
I mean, for us, it's like everyone's. I mean, this special season that they're supposed to have, and it was my heart sank when I got that because I was like, though, you know, it's not a player getting hurt, and you don't really think about coach getting injured because he's not going to get injured. But does that part of you? Do you watch him especially because obviously he's not 25 years old anymore?
Well, and you know, like so many, you know, players and coaches, he thinks or has thought for many years that he's invincible, just crazy invincible. And I think he's finally coming to the realization that he's not, and that he's got to take care of himself because, you know, these kind of things, I'm not sure why they happen, but, you know, the older you get, the more likely they are to happen, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you, when he became NFL Coach of the Year, was that something you thought would ever happen?
No. It wasn't anything on my radar at all.
I mean, it's
not at all.
To see the success now that you watch. I mean, we were talking about before the State 48 shirt that your husband's become somebody we don't even need to see his face, and we recognize him instantaneously. What has that been like to watch this kind of larger than life figure happen in the matter of a couple of years?
Yeah, it's bizarre. I mean, it's just bizarre. You know, he's been a cartoon character and a caricature, and, you know, somebody posted their dog dressed up like Bruce on Twitter the other day, and I thought, this is really just weird. Yeah.
It's just happened. I mean, I've only been here for 3 years, and I've watched this evolution of somebody who the average football fan probably didn't know his name to now this larger than life character. It's been very interesting to watch, so I can't imagine being you watching it all happen.
I don't even know what to make of it, quite honestly.
You have dogs dressed like your husband.
Unfortunately, I know him really, really well. So, you know, I see the clay feet.
Yeah, you see the real Bruce all the time. I hope you enjoyed the second part of our 3-part series with Christine Arians. Check back next Friday for the last part of this series, and I hope you enjoy.